speaking of work and play, we're gonna hit on these real quick. The work part is me and Bree did some movie reviews. Okay, we're only gonna do 2 movie reviews. 2 blockbusters that came out. Y'all already seen them. They weren't good to me. I'm just gonna be straight up. We're gonna talk about real quick. First was Space Jam with LeBron James. A movie that came out 20 years after the first one came out. With the sequel had been, I want to say, rumored since like 2015. They're just now putting it out. I guess maybe some of it probably due to COVID delay. Some of it due to LeBron James. I was say LeBron James being,
back-to-back finals.
Yeah, I was like he was busy, a little busy. Just gonna straight up, give y'all a review. Most of y'all have seen it. The movie was not the best movie. Not the follow-up to Space Jam, the original. Like the original movie is, when you rewatch it, it still actually holds up pretty well. It's the cartoons, the animations, the storyline. Michael Jordan. It was all that. You know what I mean? When I think about this movie, me and Bree were very, very quick. There wasn't enough LeBron James being LeBron James. I'm not gonna lie. It was not enough basketball in this movie. The movie was a silly movie, really. It seemed like an internet movie, like a movie about video games, a movie about streaming, a movie about how, viral videos, and the main villain was an algorithm. Let's be real. Which is just internet modern talk for Google being the bad guy.
Cheeto played his part.
He did though. Don Cheeto killed that role. That was probably him and his little, wackiness to the character was probably the best part of that movie. Other than that, the Looney Tunes looked crazy. Realistic. They tried to put realistic effects on them.
Yeah.
They looked crazy. The graphics, the movie was. I remember all of it, and because I know when I usually remember movies to this degree, it's because I don't have to watch them again. I got it. Got it the first time. I never have to see it again. And yeah, this whole story was around LeBron and his kid not getting along because his kid wants to play video games and not basketball, but he's gonna play video game basketball. And then it became a video game about basketball with real basketball players and Looney Tunes. Whatever. If y'all liked it, sure. Shout out to LeBron. That was not the one. I preferred Homewrecker. You remember Homewrecker? What was it with Amy Schumer? That was a good LeBron movie.
It. You watched it?
I watched that movie.
Without me?
That was a long time ago. That movie came out so long ago. But you're right. We were together.
Been together for a decade.
But I said we were together. I didn't know that we can rewatch it. I thought it was an okay movie, I guess. Probably better than this one.
I have no comment.
For sure. Really?
Barely remember.
Even for myself, you don't remember anything?
You reminded me of stuff that happened.
It was,
So no comment.
So, you're right. You should talk more on this next movie, which came out. Okay, so there was a controversy about it. We haven't, done news in a while, but essentially...
She got paid, so who cares?
She did get paid. ScarJo was like, yo, this movie came out and went straight to Disney Plus in May.
You gonna say the movie?
It is Black Widow. Pretty much showing her. It was supposed to, I guess, in her contract since the original Avengers.
It was prequel, before she became Black Widow.
Before the setup, they were supposed to do her own movie, and it was supposed to do a prequel. I think something changed along the lines to where they did this.
Yo.
No, I want to say I think that Marvel just changed their mind. Or I don't know. There's no way when they were planning this out, they planned out so many things this is the movie. A lot of it had to do with the sister. Decided the
sister resenting her for leaving and becoming a superhero. So maybe they just changed the storyline. Either way, it was
then put her in the Hawkeye show. I don't. Either way, the
Disney
movie
Plus came about.
That's what I'm saying. There's certain things I feel that made this movie turn into what it became. But anyways, they released it on Disney Plus.
They had to have known because they ended it with what happened with her in Endgame.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That was already pre-written. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they could put that at the end. Everything else before, like I said, it was supposed. I want to say the original rumors were it was supposed to be a prequel. It was supposed to be all about Black Widow. In this movie, let's just give you the synopsis. barely had Black Widow in it. It was the best parts of the movie.
You mean her, like, as Black Widow?
Well, I'm just saying the best parts of the movie was her gang. Was every other side character. Was Captain Funny and her sister, who was Captain Funny as well, and then the sarcastic mom.
Mom was hilarious.
That's what I'm saying.
Once you find out that she's not a bad person.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone else, it was just a goofy. To me, it felt like we was watching Ragnarok, and Brie didn't like Ragnarok.
Either way,
It felt like we was watching a funny movie.
You kind of get a prequel in the beginning. Basically, it starts off with this happy little family in a small town in Indiana or whatever.
Wherever.
And Natasha
It's a cover.
and her little sister are
They're all spies.
kids. They're little, like literally little kids.
Spy kids.
And you find out that was a cover, like a Russian cover. They're Russian spies, but of course they're kids, so they were like taken from their families and being used as Russian spies to like set up families
Spy
in the
kids.
U.S.
You should have said Spy Kids.
Spy kids, I think, want to be like Spy Kids, though. These are like
Killer Spy Kids.
against their will. The Red Room, so they call it. But anyways.
Oh my god.
So then you find out that when they have to go back to the Red Room, little girl has no idea what's going on, but Natasha is just like, I'm not going back there. So you find out her family's fake, and then they grow up. They've all gone their separate ways, and they have to come back together
This
as
is
a
the
gang.
Red Rocket?
They have to come back together as a gang to beat or release everyone from the Red Room. Natasha wants to destroy it once and for all, so she gets her fake family back together.
You missing some parts.
No, that's basically the gist of the freaking movie.
No, that's the gist. But to get to that point, Natasha, so she apparently thought she killed this dude who's the leader of the Red Room a long time ago, not knowing that he just doesn't die. She essentially blew up his office with his. He made sure that his daughter was in there, so she could confirm that he was in there, and then she blew it up. And ever since then, this is when like the daughter was like a child, so she thought this man was dead for like 10 years, and she thought she did it, but instead, no, he was underground, he made a whole brand new Red Room, involved her little sister, and was pretty much doing all this stuff while she was out being an Avenger, and she had. That was the whole movie was talking about. It was like pretty much all this stuff went on because Natasha became an Avenger and wanted to be a good guy. And not saying that the Red Room people aren't good guys, but I mean most of their people are assassins. That's kind of their thing. So they're not the best guys. But when she became an Avenger, everyone, kind of lost their way. Kind of. I don't know. That's kind of what they were insinuating. But this guy, he was still alive. So they had to let her know first that, hey, you didn't finish the job like you thought. And even that only started because her sister, who was being mind controlled, stopped being mind controlled because the movie said so. It could have been any other person. Why had to be Natasha's sister? You know what I mean? And she stabbed that girl. She stabbed her good. And she still unmind controlled her. It's a crazy movie. It was silly.
He didn't like it. I didn't think it was bad. It wasn't like the best Avenger movie, but to me it wasn't the worst either.
Oh no, there's worse. It's just
it
that one's not fighting.
I didn't feel like
it.
I wasted my time like I did with Space Jam 2, but I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, this is the best movie ever, or yes, Black Widow finally got her bomb movie.
Nah, they should have did her better.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm happy they paid ScarJo in real life, but they put that movie on Disney Plus for a reason. That's what I'm saying. If it went to theaters, it would have it would have probably been the box office flop.
It did go to theaters.
It did a simultaneous release.
That's what she was mad about. She wanted it to just
be in theaters.
Yeah.
But some movies that did, but because COVID have been spiking back up, some theaters were like, or some movie. It just depends on the movie. Some movies were like, nah, we're too big, like Fast and Furious or whatever. There's a couple movies that are just like, nah, Spider-Man's coming out, only theaters. There's a couple, I think Venom came out in theaters first too, as well, where they're like, no, those are Marvel movies. Well, not Fast and Furious, but it's technically a Marvel movie too. Those are situations where they're like, nah, we're too big to do the simultaneous thing. But, nah, they said they did kind of diss ScarJo, and she got him in court, so. But also this movie was bad. So maybe they knew that behind the scenes and yeah, they knew they weren't gonna hit that cap. That
Thor
is set.
Ragnarok could go to theaters, so can Black Widow.
There was no COVID. You can't say that.
I'm just talking about the quality of the movie.
Oh, it went. They did. She just you. I don't know. No comment. And the funniest part is when
And
the
I love
helicopter fell out the sky. That was the funniest part of the movie.
With the family, their dynamic,
That
bringing
sounds-
them back together was hilarious. Their dynamic is what to me made the movie.
I said that, but the movie's supposed to be about Black Widow. I would
It's
love to
about
have
Black
seen
Widow
more
getting her
of
family
her,
back together.
and like they didn't even really. I said it was funny because me and Brie in the beginning of the movie, I was like, maybe they're gonna finally explain what Budapest is, you know, because her and Hawkeye always have a little Budapest joke. They mentioned it. They brought up like one scene from it of like her and Hawkeye being stuck in a vent fighting people for 5 days. But then he didn't even show up in the movie. That's what I was like. They could at least put Hawkeye in the movie a little bit
They ended it with him.
of him being the villain.
Yeah, like he's the
It
reason
was-
why she's dead.
Right, which is
Spoiler alert.
technically, well, it's what we already know. Remember, we saw the end game.
I'm
He
saying
technic-
that's obvious, kind of what you were saying back to the beginning. They're trying to tie all their stuff together. That may be a hint to his show on Disney Plus.
No, she's
Her
apparently
showing
whooping his
up.
ass in the show. We have to watch this. I would actually,
I don't
I haven't
think she's
watched
on the
Look-
show yet.
or she hasn't shown up yet. Either way, she's gonna get there. I feel like of the shows, I'll probably watch Loki and Hawkeye. Maybe. I'm not watching the shows, guys. But if I do, I'll probably watch Hawkeye and maybe Loki, because everyone said Loki was good. I'm not watching WandaVision. I've already got the whole thing. We're not watching. You know, do you want to watch? What's the other one? I think season 2. Shoot.
Falcon.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. What is his name?
and Winter Soldier.
Okay, yeah. Those two. Though that show is apparently really good too. And
WandaVision and Loki.
Black America, Captain America is always
WandaVision
cool.
And Loki are the only two that got Emmy nods for
I
nominations.
don't know.
Not Winter Soldier and Falcon.
We watching Winter Soldier and Falcon because it's a Black Captain America.
Mm.
You gotta support and Anthony Mackie being Black Captain America.
Mm.
That's pretty cool.
Cool.
Even if the show, I haven't heard bad things about the show. Apparently, people Emmy nods. I feel like maybe WandaVision was apparently a good story. So that's probably why it got an Emmy nod. What was the other? And everyone loved Loki. I don't know. I just feel like probably everyone's gonna
Everyone
love
says Loki's the best.
Tom Middleton. Loki ended up. Anyway, that's enough off the Marvel.